All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, and I'm finally getting around to talking about Game of Thrones. And I was going to do the best of episodes and talk about all that stuff, but I'm just going to make it real simple here. And we're going to I'm going to be rewatching and reviewing Game of Thrones Season 7. And then talking about, I'll add in some of my favorite stuff from the seasons past. And so, talking about this first episode, Season 7, Episode 1, Dragonstone, full spoilers if you haven't seen the episode. But to talk about, when I think about Season 1, the best stuff of Season 1, there's best and there's favorite. I always feel like that we always say, oh, that best moment is blank, and we go, that's the best moment. You know, we all have favorite moments, but we don't always technically go, yeah, but what's the best moment? Do you know what I'm saying? The difference between that. Sometimes they're the same. You know, sometimes your favorite can also be the best if you think it's the best. But saying best, it makes it really tricky to me. Just for me, the way I think of things. And so, if I say my favorite moment of Season 1, it's probably a simple moment, which was, and it's it's definitely a meme, right? Is when Tyrion's slapping Joffrey, twice for good measure. Just because it just, see, now this is a personal thing. That's why it's my favorite, is because I liked seeing that kid get slapped very early on. I knew, you know what? That's something I want to see throughout this show, is that kid getting hit, and it's a good place to start. And it's when I really think about what makes me that moment, when I've seen the Season 1 probably 4 or 5, 6 times maybe, and that's the one scene that I can just always go, yeah, yeah, that's a good one. But the best moment, the best, the show doing its very best, giving you its very best moments, that's just as hard. And I've thought about it for a long time, what really is the best moment? And I just, it's so hard. Because, there's so many, great lines and things like that. Anything with Varys and Littlefinger in the first season, anytime they're together, those are pretty much, best moments of seasons, to me. I just love listening to them just go after each other, poking the bears, whatever, but poking the spider, really. I have to say, I think the best moment is Ned's death. I think it's the best moment because it was the show showing not only are we going to be accurate to the book here, the first season is so accurate. But it's also the shortest book. It's also, it was a quick read. They're all kind of quick reads once you kind of dive in, really dive in. You can come out of it you can get done with them pretty quick if you go into a really deep dive. But it was the most accurate, but this is where it messed with people because, just like anything else, the majority of people haven't read the books. There's a great big number that have, just same as The Walking Dead, but it wouldn't have been out of character for a show to not kill its main protagonist. And I can't remember if I read the first book before or after I saw the first season. I can't remember, but it was really close. But just seeing that they actually went there and took that risk and said, no, we're going to stick to the books and we're going to kill Ned. We're going to give everybody this hero throughout this whole thing, and we're going to take it away. And I think that it has to be, for me, the best moment of the first season, because it was the moment that they really, and for a show that took a lot of chances right out the gate with having a kid get thrown out a window and things and showing incest and all sorts of god awful human behavior. killing your hero is something that just doesn't happen. And it's set a precedent to the rest of the world and other TV shows that this is what we're willing to do. We'll kill off anybody that isn't safe. And it started, and even though most of the deaths are in the books, it shows that not only are they sticking with the important stuff, the main really important stuff that people love, the fan favorite moments, stay accurate. But that, they're doing what other shows don't. And so that's why that's my favorite. But now to talk about, to get to this episode, Dragonstone, it's your typical fantastic episode, but it's also your typical Game of Thrones premiere, where it's, here's where everybody is. Let's give everybody a little moment. And, this is playing catch up to the next run of episodes, which is only 7. Which is nice that the episodes are a little bit longer. Like this one's like an hour and 8, but factor in the intro and the previously on and the credits at the end, and then their little trailer at the end and everything. So it's still about just over an hour. I was hoping that these would be all like an hour and a half long. I really was, because I just feel like, I don't know, that way they could get to the spring. A Song of Spring or whatever I think it's called. But we'll see how they do this. It's going to be really interesting how they do season 8. But in this, it's your typical thing. And it begins fantastically with Arya taking out the rest of the Freys. It's a brilliant scene, even though it's like, if this was your first episode, you go, what the hell is going on? For us, that have been watching the show since episode 1, this, just because we know what's happening, unless you go, oh, could this have been like a flashback? But, we all know what's about to happen. And it's nice for us, for the audience, for a change, to be the ones in on the murder spree that's about to take place. Most of the time in this show, they put you in situations where you don't see it coming. And it's nice for us, for a change, to be able to see the Frey's own Red Wedding happen to them and be like, ha 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 ha, you guys are about to get killed for all the shit you fuckers did. You killed a pregnant lady, man. Oh my God, man. It's the Red Wedding is still like Jesus when you think about it. Cut off his head, put the wolf on it. Like, what kind of disgusting, whatever. But fantastic beginning. You tell them what happened here. I love it. And her walking away with a smile. Again, like I don't think I've really done any reviews of Game of Thrones since I started this, redoing my channel and all that. But man, if Arya dies, I'm gonna have a hard time. That's gonna be the thing for me. That is just gonna be like, that'll break me. But after that, and let's just talk about Daenerys. Even though it's at the end, she gets home, and I don't know why they felt the need to have her get on her knees. I know what it's supposed to symbolize, but it's just a little, I don't know, corny. I usually would just think she'd just get off, take a look around, and just get to business. Kind of like the rest of that scene is. It's just a big walk. And that's why we're talking about it now, because it's not that impressive, except visually it's impressive. And if you're one of those people that sits and Game of Thrones is the only thing that exists in your world, and until this show comes back on, you might as well be a robot that's shut himself down for like a year. I don't know what to tell you, but it's not that great of it's just kind of, and then they get into Stannis's old Roman, well, shall we begin, or whatever, it's just, I don't know, kind of anticlimactic to me. Like, why even put that in there if you're not going to give us a little bit of something there? But it's a small gripe, and I know people that love Daenerys. I love Daenerys. It just kind of seemed like we deserve, no, we don't deserve anything. It just kind of feels like it was earned to give her a little bit bigger of an entrance. But, whatever. Sansa and Jon, and Littlefinger and Brienne having their moments at Winterfell. I'm just gonna go on record already. You know, like if you haven't seen the other episodes, I'm not pleased with their handling of Littlefinger, and I hope the books do not go the same path completely that they do here in the show. We're so far off the map now as far as the books are concerned. We don't know what's in the books. You know, as soon as Jon Snow was the last thing that happened in the books, right? He died. So everything, you know, and even some things, other things, like a lot of Arya's story, you know, everything was way caught up a long time ago. But I don't know. I feel like how they've mishandled him here, ever since his ideas to, you know, with Winterfell and Sansa. I don't know. But whatever. If I go, like, this is when I bought the Funkos, right? Was when I had these two, like, right around the time, like, Oberyn and the Mountain fought. And I got Sansa and the Littlefinger. Well, I got Littlefinger because he's, like, my favorite character on the show. Yeah, Littlefinger's my favorite character. I think he's the best character on the show, or at least in the books he was. And up until season 7, he was my favorite character on the show. Or I think the best character on the show. My favorite character is always Arya. But anyway, the seeds that are sowing between Sansa and Jon, Littlefinger is very excited about. But every time he talks to her, I mean, she's just like done with him. She's just done with him, and it's kind of sad that they're not giving him anything but just now he's really exposed as like a hanger-on or a really obsessed stalker, willing to, you know, bring whole armies to help Sansa as long as he gets what he wants. And it's just so obvious at this point what he wants, and his mystique is kind of gone, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be gone, and he shouldn't be dismissed. And then the fact that nothing happens about it is just kind of really disappointing. That's life, I guess. But I do like how Sansa and Jon do argue. It's supposed to, you know, create tension because the brothers and the sisters aren't getting along. And so that just leads to countless, you know, YouTubers making, or, you know, like channels like Nerdist. Uh-oh, what do you think's going to happen to Jon and Sansa? I think Sansa's probably going to stab Jon in the head. You know, I mean, I speculate myself sometimes, but I don't make full videos about it, except for, well, the last one I made. But that was a suggestion of when I think The Walking Dead should end. Moving on to King's Landing, which this is a really great scene between Cersei and Jaime. Him basically laying out for her, man, like she's deluded, and he just keeps trying to come at her with reason, and she's just hearing none of it. She's just none of it. I mean, we're gonna create a 1,000-year dynasty for ourselves, and it's like, he's like, dude, it's just us. As soon as we're dead, these people are gonna reverse everything we do, and you know what I mean? Like it's all really for nothing. At this point, it's just strictly like, let's go down with the fucking ship at this point. And she will blow up the world. And that's what makes her really, to me, the most dangerous character on this show still. Is she'll fucking kill herself if it means taking everyone else out. She will not allow anyone else to win. At all. If it means she loses, she'll do anything. And so, you know, her siding with Euron is whatever. That's just going to happen because she's running out of people to be on her side. And it just makes, you know, the story kind of guided it there. And so where else was she going to go? The guy who plays Euron Greyjoy, though, I love him in that scene with when he says, like, oh, I got two good hands. The guy from Overlord, who played the really evil Nazi in that movie, is great here as Euron Greyjoy. Again, this season kind of makes you have to turn your brain off because you want to know, like, how did he build those goddamn big-ass ships so freaking fast? After he says that his niece and nephew, you know, stole all his best ships and took off, like, took the whole fucking fleet. Okay, I remember when this happened on the show, and he's like, oh shit, well, we better start making boats. How much time has gone by? And that's a big issue in this season, is time. And I know, like I said, I guess we really do have to turn our brains off, because how did he build so many big ass goddamn ships in such a short amount of time when their people are notoriously lazy? They don't work. I mean, okay, then there'll be people that, follow the Greyjoy and the Iron Islands lore, and they're going to come after me with all the thoughts about how they've done the research and this is how it happens. If you have the research and you know how it happened, please put it in the comments below. I want to know. I want to be filled in. I don't want to be willfully ignorant, as somebody might say, like, why doesn't he know about this? But tell me, and I will bring it up and I will explain it on the next video, how much time has gone by and all that stuff. Because that's one of the great things about putting these videos out there, is getting in touch with people that know more about it than you do. And then they can put it in the comments section and educate me and everyone else. So if you do know, please feel free to put it down there. Who else am I leaving out here? Oh yeah, Brienne and Tormund. The best awkward will they, won't they ever. I love it. It's like he may think that she's like the second coming, but to her, looking at him, she looks at him like he's a whole other species. Like she's like can't wrap her head around this guy. And it's really, really funny. It's really, really funny. And hopefully, though, it doesn't go on, drag out for too much longer. But I don't know. It was pretty much, that's like fan service right there. There's a lot of fan service in season 7. There was in season 6 too. Anything, because we don't know what's going to happen next in the books, is to me kind of fan fiction. But in the same way that I kind of look at The Walking Dead now, which is like, it's so far off the map that can we call it canon? But whatever. Bran makes it to the wall, and that's about it for him. And but who else has a really big episode is the fucking Hound and the Knights, or not the Knights, the Men Without Banners, the Knights Without Banners. Oh fuck, something like that. But I love those guys. I love that group of guys. But Clegane is really becoming such a fleshed out character. It's amazing. He's one of the worst characters. He's just like Jaime and everybody else that you hate, but you kind of love. And he's getting some really important stuff here to deal with. With the fact that he has to go back to the same place where he killed the guy who, then his daughter died, and he left them there, and he took everything from them, and he's faced with it. I love it. And then what he sees in the flames, which I'm really glad that they don't show us. That we just kind of have to suspend our own disbelief and just trust that the character has seen something. Because it would cost money to make the shots for the flames and the special effects and whatever they're seeing. It would cost, money to film and stuff like that. So I think it's just fine to, like, what we don't see, the imagination, kind of like what Hitchcock says, right? The less you see, the scarier it is, kind of situation. But wow, the Hound. Let's just say that. It's really easy. What the Hound's going through is really interesting, and it's making me wonder how he's gonna finish up on this series. Who knows? Maybe the dead bodies of the people he killed there are going to come out of the ground, and he'll freak out and fall into a fire or something. I don't know. I know people want him to, like, fight the mountain. And if this show truly does go into fan service mode, that is exactly what you'll get, and I'll be perfectly happy to watch the fan fiction version of everything. But it just seems like too obvious that would be how Clegane goes out. But otherwise, fantastic episode. It's so much fun. For the about 95% of it that I enjoyed, like I said, I don't like the way they handle Littlefinger here, and just the time stuff, things that just kind of stop making sense, kind of bring the episode down for me a little bit. Oh, Arya with the guys and Ed Sheeran. You know, the only reason it bothers me now is because so many other people pointed it out. I don't know who Ed Sheeran is. Or at least I didn't. I was happy in my ignorance. But the rest of the world made sure that I knew. How dare they have Ed Sheeran in this episode? I'm like, I don't fucking care. Yeah, I notice now that they laser focus in on his face when he turns around so that they make sure you know. And of course they got Arya sitting next to him. The thing I just found weird is that they actually made a scene where, you know, guys weren't acting like complete, disgusting, homicidal, rapist pigs. That was like the biggest like stretch of the imagination, at least for this show. I think it was a good decision in the episode to show Arya that even some Lannisters, you know, they're just a bunch of kids fighting for somebody else. And that not everybody is, you know, out to just necessarily kill you. It's orders and things like that. So she gets to meet some of the real guys. And that was a really good scene too. If you can get past the fact that Ed Sheeran's in it. I still don't even know like any of his songs, thank God. I may know what he looks like now, but I still haven't had to know what any of his music is. So that's not the important thing. So anyway, I think that about covers everything that I need to cover. Oh yeah, Sam and the shit. Yeah, let's not talk about Sam and the shit. That was disgusting. It was disgusting the first time, but funny. The second time around, nah, I just kept my eyes closed. Didn't need that. I don't need it. I don't know, maybe it's just today I just didn't feel like seeing a bunch of shit. Just can't do it. So anyway, that's the episode. We're ending it shit. So if you liked it, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. In the comment section, tell me what your favorite or best, remember there's a difference, in my opinion. Put those down in the comment section. Let me know anything you want to talk about. If you know stuff that I don't know, please put it in the comment section as well. So otherwise, I want to thank everybody right now for all the support that's been happening to my channel with helping me to try to get to where I can make live streams again, where I can get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you do, I would really appreciate the subscription. Hopefully I can live up to the standards of people that you want to watch on YouTube. But right now, yeah, I'm stuck with making little videos for things until I can get my live stream status back by getting to 1,000 subscribers. So any help we can get there would be much appreciated. So anyway, this is Robert Smirking Gun Reviews saying we'll be back later with more stuff. Otherwise, have a great day, and we will see you next time.